Hello, everyone. So here's my input to the three questions. The first question starts with the observation that the following sentence is true for most systems today. We collectively create results that nobody wants. And the first question is why? So why is it that we collectively create results that nobody wants? We destroy the planet, biodiversity loss, climate change, social polarization, inequality, societies breaking apart. We all know the list goes on. Why is that? Why is it that in most bigger systems we collectively create results that nobody wants? Second question. For most problems we see in the world today, like climate change, like all the other things I just mentioned, let's say it's the 2030 agenda would be one shorthand of describing that. For most of these problems, we know what we needed to do to address them. So for example, in the case of climate change, Project Drawdown, right, has named the 80 interventions that would be necessary. We know what it is. In most cases, we already have the technologies. Are we doing it? No. So the second question starts with the observation of the knowing-doing gap. So why is it that on a collective level, even though we know what we needed to do to address these issues, we do something else? Why do we have this knowing-doing gap, and what does it take to address and bridge the knowing-doing gap? And when the head is, when you have a decoupling, a disconnect between head and hand on the level of the collective, I believe there's no other way of addressing that disconnect other than activating the intelligence and the knowing of the heart. So the second question, therefore, can be also re-articulated as, how can we bridge the knowing-doing gap by activating the knowing of the heart, the intelligence of the heart? And number three has to do with movement building. So we know we live in a moment in history where one civilization is hitting the wall and another one is about to be born. That's our situation. That's what we are born into. And what it takes to move from the old civilization that's now hitting the wall to fully activating a different civilization that would be defined by not deepening the ecological, social, and spiritual divides, but by bridging them. What really does it take to activate the potential of this new civilization, this new story of the future that maybe we can feel, sometimes we see in small ways, but that by and large hasn't fully happened yet? So what does it take? And of course, what it takes is a movement. And the movement is already there. That's already in the making. And we all are part of it. But what is exactly my role in that movement? So that's the third question. What is mine to do? Because, I can spend the whole day getting depressed about all the things that I can't influence. But that's not how change happens, right? So that's not how entrepreneurs work, right? So that's not, how we move something new into being. if we, want to move the dial, there's only one way of doing it. Focus on your own sphere of influence, right? Focus on where you can make a difference. So what is mine to do? What is ours to do, right? It's the same question on a community level. That's really the third question. And in my case, in my personal case, I think what begins, it's a question I'm asking myself every day. And what becomes, in my case, what I'm beginning to focus a lot more on kind of for the remaining time I have is to co-create a school for transformation that is linking kind of the various, that is basically democratizing the access to the methods and tools for creating this kind of transformational change. Because what we have basically is a huge story of transformation and a huge need for transformational change that's ahead of us, and a complete mismatch with the transformation capacity that we have developed in our communities, in our systems. So the School for Transformation would be a platform, would be a distributed global ecosystem of people, methods, tools, and practices and knowing that is addressing that gap, and that is democratizing the access to the methods and tools of awareness-based systems change.